welcome back to my channel, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and tuning in today. I want to talk about the mental battle of anxiety today. And some of you may know, if you've been following me for quite a while, is that I have dealt with depression and anxiety for probably like a long time. So I knew that it was an issue whenever I was about 15, but I know that I had it quite a bit earlier than that, just from kind of things that I figured out about myself and experiences that I've learned, actions that I did, stuff like that. So depression and anxiety actually does run in my family. Anxiety and depression can be genetic, but that doesn't necessarily mean that because someone in your family has anxiety or depression that you're gonna get it, but it's very common in my family. That being said, it's not an excuse for me having anxiety and depression. It's not an excuse for me to fall victim to it, but I kind of want to just talk about the mental battle that I've had with it and kind of share some things that I'm doing to deal with it, because I know that so many people struggle with it, and it makes me so sad because I know how much it sucks and I know how much of a struggle it is. And so I just want to try to give you guys some of the tips that I've been using, and hopefully some of those can kind of work out for you guys too. I want to start out by saying that everybody deals with anxiety. Everybody deals with stress. Stress is a good thing in moderation. Everybody needs stress to succeed, to feel motivated, to feel pushed. It's a good thing for your body to feel stressed sometimes. But a constant state of worry, of feeling troubled, of feeling down, that is not normal. And if you are constantly feeling that way, there's probably a mental issue going on. Personally, I do take medication for my anxiety and depression, and I feel like it's helped. There's a ton of like battle between medication or no medication, and I know it's like super controversial. I personally do take medication, and I think that it is very helpful. If I wasn't on I tried to go off medication one time, it wasn't fun, so I'm back on it, and it's just what I'm doing right now. I have learned, especially within the past year, that I play victim to anxiety. And by that I mean that I use anxiety as an excuse a lot of the time. And anxiety and depression, even though I hate it, it's a comfortable state because I'm used to it, and I don't have to do a lot whenever I'm feeling anxious or depressed. I use it as an excuse to just be lazy and be tired and feel sad and miserable. And that is what I mean by playing victim to it. I spent a lot of time playing victim, just doing nothing, feeling sad, and not really doing as much as I possibly could to get out of that state. I also use anxiety as an excuse to not reach my full potential. That may sound kind of weird, but it is subconscious most of the time, because consciously I'm not going to think, oh, I'm just going to say I'm anxious and then I won't have to do this and this and this. No, it's kind of like subconsciously you're self-sabotaging yourself. And I've realized that a lot recently, is that if I don't step up and fight my anxiety and learn how to deal with it, I'm never gonna reach my full potential. I'm never gonna reach the things that I want to do. So I've realized that I've been using anxiety as an excuse to kind of play it safe and play in my own little comfort circle. So I've realized that I really have got to start figuring this out and figure out how to deal with it and be more loving to myself and figure out how to be the best that I can possibly be. I've done kind of a lot of work recently, and I've just started diving into it. I need to do so much more research and so much more learning and everything like that, but I want to go ahead and start sharing this stuff with you guys because I feel like it's such a struggle for so many people, and it's so frustrating to feel like you're stuck in this bubble in your head. I know what it feels like, and it sucks, and it's so frustrating, and I want to get out of it. I want you guys to get out of it. Basically, the biggest thing that I've learned is that self-love, learning how to deal with anxiety and depression, learning how to be your best self, learning how to reach new heights, it takes work. And I know, you know, being positive doesn't seem like it may be that much work, but let me tell you, it takes a lot more work to be positive and learn how to be grateful and express gratitude and all of those things than it takes to just be negative and be your yappy little self, spread negative energy out into the world. It's a lot harder to be positive, and it takes work day in and day out until it becomes a habit. So that's the first thing, is that getting to be at your best potential and getting to be more positive and dealing with anxiety and depression and stuff like that, it takes work. And that's something that you have to realize and that you have to kind of hold yourself accountable to. It takes work, it's hard, but it is worth it to get out of this nasty mental state and learn how to live a happy life filled with gratitude and positivity and all of that stuff. So basically that's kind of like what I've been diving into recently about kind of dealing with anxiety and depression and becoming the best version of myself that I can possibly be. I want to kind of talk about what I do personally so far to kind of combat my anxiety. I obviously take the medication, like I said. Something that I've learned recently is that I've got to figure out what triggers my anxiety. And there's so many things, but figuring out what triggers you the most is going to be key to kind of figuring out what those thoughts are and how you can change them. Something that I get so worked up over is how much I have to do. I love being busy and having things constantly to do, but it also makes me super, super anxious. So it's kind of like this weird level of I'm super anxious, but I also really enjoy it. And so something that's really helped me recently is I make a weekly to-do list. Before I only did like daily to-do lists, and then I would write down so much stuff and I would never achieve even half of it. And I felt like down, and then that would make me feel even more anxious, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna fail these classes, I'm gonna fail with my business. It just spirals. Like, it's bad how much it can spiral. So I have now started doing like a weekly to-do list, and I write down everything I need to do for the week, and then I can kind of break it down day by day, and you know, I can check off as the week goes on, but I base my days on that, and that has helped me a lot as far as just like categorizing everything and making me feel less anxious about everything that I have to do, because it feels so daunting and just like, oh my god, I have so much to do. And so breaking it down into the week and then into the day has really, really helped me. Another thing that's a little bit different that I do is that I have to spend some time outside every day. This is really easy for me because I have a dog and I have to walk my dog. So that has been really, really helpful. I had really bad seasonal depression whenever I lived back in Missouri, because the winters there are gloomy and nasty and cold, and I hated it. I hate the cold. Now that I've moved to Texas, it's gotten so much better. It's warm, it's sunny, it's beautiful, and it's helped me tremendously. Like, I can't even, like, it's so amazing that the weather has helped me so much. But spending some time outside every day, feeling the fresh air in my lungs and being grateful that I have clean air to breathe and this beautiful area around me. You can find beauty outside no matter where you live, but being outside and appreciating that beauty that we have in the nature around me and whatever, it's really, really helpful for me to breathe fresh air, and to be outside is like major key for me in dealing with my anxiety. Something that I don't even think about because I've been doing it for so long is having a healthy diet and working out. You don't need to be crazy with your diet. You don't need to do these crazy workouts. Working out like 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, whatever you can make do with, is going to release endorphins. It's going to make you feel better. Your body is going to be working more efficiently, which is going to make you feel better. And you're going to start seeing progress in your body, which is going to make you feel better. A healthy diet is, your diet can do so much for you, especially if you're eating bad or, you know, not as great right now. If you are eating whole, natural, healthy foods, you're gonna feel a lot better. Trust me on that. Lastly, and I know this sounds kind of cheesy, but I do try to journal at least twice a week, and then I write down every day 3 things I'm grateful for. This has helped me a lot just because it helps you to think throughout the day about things that you could write down that you're grateful for. So it just makes you think throughout the day, like, oh, like it makes you notice more that you're grateful for, because you know at the end of the day you have to write it down. So in turn that just makes you like think about things that you're more grateful for throughout the day. It makes you have a more positive energy. So that's something that I think is a huge major key, because gratitude makes you feel so much more positive, and it's really crazy how much it can affect you. And then journaling is also an awesome tool for anything, for reaching your goals, for holding yourself accountable to something, for figuring out what your thoughts and emotions are. Journaling is an awesome tool, and I'd recommend just starting out, even just once a week is great. And just to start out with something is awesome. But those are kind of my things that I do to kind of help me deal with my anxiety. And there's just so much more that goes into it, and there's so much more I want to share with you guys, but I just wanted to make a quick video about it. And then I want to make a video also kind of about body image, eating disorders, stuff like that, because it's something that I've dealt with. I've had anorexia, and it's something that I'm really struggling with right now, actually. So I want to kind of share more with you guys, and just please let me know your feedback on this, and if it's something that you guys are interested in. I just want to be able to help you guys as much as I can in any area that I can. So just give me your feedback. Let me know if you did enjoy the video. I hope the tips were helpful, and I'll talk to you guys soon.